Hi everybody. So this is the final week. It's going to be light in terms of materials. We want you focusing on your papers. Again, make sure your bibliography and your in-text citations are consistent. Pick one of the two formats and stick with it throughout. And of course, things have to be in by Friday. That's when classes end. We can't make any exceptions because as instructors, we also have a deadline to get in grades dictated by NOVA. So Friday is when you need to have everything in. So just make sure the paper is what most people need to get in by then. So for this week, I'm going to be starting off with something by Jacques Cousteau, someone that for many people was their first glimpse into what actually the undersea world represented. Through a lot of his programs, he was able to open people's eyes to what actually existed below the seas. So I think in a lot of ways, Dr. Sylvia Earle, Robert Ballard, Linda Glover, a lot of them were inspired by this work by Cousteau. Cousteau was excellent in terms of knowing how to use the technology available in that era to produce these programs, books, etc., which really revealed a lot to all of us. So this is just a very brief video with some of his words and thoughts. After that, I scanned in an epilogue to one of his books, which I think really speaks for how forward-thinking Cousteau was at his time. He was here talking about pollution, ecological balance, but that it was reversible. So I think these words are important to read because if you note when this book was published, 1971. So he could see from the time he was spending going around the world what was beginning to reveal itself in the world's oceans. So that's just a few pages as well. And then finally, you're just going to read at the very end of Defying Oceans End, after the chapters, it's the equivalent of an epilogue, what the authors of the book believe this meeting, which the book summarizes, what it represented and what the next steps were, or what the next steps were that would be necessary. So that's where we are now. So again, that's just a handful of pages. It's not as in depth as the others, other chapters. So that's it. Please make sure your papers are in again by Friday, and that's all. It's been a pleasure for both of us, Dr. Schmidt and myself, to have you in the class. Again, we have a class beginning 4-week. It's known as Water World, the future of marine policy, administration, etc. The last 4 weeks of the semester, it's being offered. We know that some of you are joining us. We hope others might consider joining us. If not, good luck with your studies, and hope to stay in touch with all of you. Thanks.